What is the Isle of Man TT? Picture a high-stakes Tom Cruise stunt sequence from a Mission Impossible movie, trying to outdo the insane motor stunt standards in the latter part of the Fast and Furious franchise, directed by Transformers era Michael Bay. Then some folks, obviously off their rockers, take this Frankenstein high-octane mishmash and make it a real-life event for people to play Russian roulette in. It is the literal definition of living on the edge and embodies why motorcycle sports will remain in the surreal league of your own. I was born with the motorcycle fever, see? Some days, I'm convinced my whole life has been leading to the moment I own my own Hayabusa. And I wonder if my chronic depression is a misunderstanding of the motorcycle-shaped hole in my heart. There's just something undeniably romantic about straddling a mind-numbingly overpowered engine bolted to a pair of wheels with your frail body and brittle bones holding on for dear life as you carve through the wind at ungodly velocities. For a garçon like me, riding at highway speeds would be the peak of thrill seeking. As much as I like to daydream about being born a well-situated twink in my next life with the nerve-numbing insanity to attempt a career in the MotoGP, deep down, I know I'd never be cursed with the testicles for the devil shenanigans of the sort. And so, when I discovered this event, it gave taking everything terrifying and exhilarating about motorcycle racing and turning the dial up to 11. The Isle of Man Tourist Trophy is an annual motorcycle racing event held on the Isle of Man in May and June of most years since its inaugural race in 1907. Somehow, it survived the cooler-headed 21st century safety reforms and bans that cleansed all other motorsport competitions of their rampant mortality. The wildest thing about the Isle of Man TT is that it doesn't even attempt the pretense of taking place on carefully maintained racetracks like the other motorsport rallies. This quote-unquote death race takes place on regular potholed next to residential buildings, public roads, and not just any plain public road. The Sneffel Mountain Course, I'm butchering that name. A public road race course that is considered one of the most dangerous in the world. Besides being a formidable twisty demon, the Sneffel Mountain Course has legs for days, coming in at a staggering 37.4 miles, that is 60.19 kilometers from start to finish. Let's be clear, I absolutely adore this racing event. It is the coolest sporting event I know of, and I honestly find its embrace of the principle of pushing your skills to near breaking point brave, poetic, and inspiring. But I also have the self-awareness to acknowledge the obvious dash of insanity it takes to participate in something like this even once, let alone making a career of it. Speaking of acknowledging danger, I'd be remiss not to point out that the event has a considerable death toll, specifics of which I won't be getting into here, but the danger factor is far from theoretical, be rest assured. Which is why racers with long careers in the Isle of Man TT, spotted with multiple first place placements like Peter Hackman and Michael Dunlop, are, to me, real-life superhuman athletes. For emphasis, they both have lap time records of around 16 minutes. Imagine that, covering 37.4 miles in essentially a quarter of an hour. Like, my brain can't even compute how this is possible. They are literally riding at speeds averaging 136 miles per hour. The event consists of 1 week of practice and qualifying sessions, followed by 1 week of racing. The race schedules include various categories such as Superbike, Super Stock, Super Sport, Super Twin, and Sidecar TT. Spectators watch the races from various vantage points along the course. They do in numbers, and they frequently manage to get into nightmarish collision close calls with the bullet-paced races. I cannot wait to be one of these overzealous and reckless spectators one day. Wish me luck.